tratando de defender, pero bien, 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 Jai, triple baja.
Segue pancada, mas ele esquivou e pela bala, olha aí! Pancada deles!
Welcome back, everyone. As we get ready for map number 3, the players are taking a little bit of a chill out break for a minute here as we get ready for Split. And when you look at those score lines, 13-3, 13-2, naturally that means Split's got to end 13-1. So who gets it? Flip a coin. Let's find out next time. Dragon Ball Z.
I'm also finding out that I don't know anything about Valorant. I don't know ball.
Dude, people have been telling me that for years, man.
That's what I mean. We still have the blanket prop. Can you tell me?
One little stuffy, just the fucking
aging, Brent.
I'm aging. I know.
Yeah.
Everyone is. It's like the slow march. That's the final ending for everybody.
Okay, we're getting really dark here.
hey, listen, I didn't bring it up.
The prompter says.
I'm just trying to take a nap.
The prompter says crew crazy comeback. Can we up the energy a tad?
Okay, sure. I'll give you a bit more energy. That was a crazy turnaround for crew.
It was.
Because they come out with a new composition, a new look onto Haven. It's a map where they've struggled with in the past, I think, inherently as well. And listen, let's roll the tape. Let's go through. Let's relive this thing. Because I'm not bitter at all that Loud couldn't have closed this one out in a 2-0 fashion. My Pred would have been correct as the only one on the broadcast. Not at all. I don't think so.
Oh, yes.
It's not about my ego at all. It's about the game.
Yeah, I mean, reliving this ultimately, it won't take very much time. It was about 15 minutes of necessary time allotted to relive that absolute roar.
I'll be honest, I'm a little bit confused.
Okay.
And I think that is
about what?
That is how a lot of people feel right now.
Okay, let me break it.
Go for it. Go for it, Brett.
Okay, so attack side, Loud, slow.
Yes.
Like molasses slow, like stuck in some sort of sweet toffee, like just they can't quite move around the map too
caramel,
often.
you know?
The macro wasn't there. They weren't pushing and pulling players around, and with a Euro-based composition, you can get very fast rotates, and Kesnet was able to play exactly where the sound cues were. And if you don't work the map efficiently and effectively and create a series of unknowns on your attack side, with the way that crew are playing and the comp that they're playing, they're able to follow the sound cues very effectively and constantly stack bodies in the direction of where Loud are trying to hit. So Loud were never able to get a clean plant down. They were always at a player disadvantage if they got a plant down. Rarely able to get it into a winnable situation. And even when they did get into a post-plant situation, they couldn't quite even hold crossfires down.
Yeah,
they didn't really know what they were doing.
One post-plant.
Yeah.
They lost 9. That's why this game was fast, GB.
Thank you so much for that one. That's why they pay them the big bucks here. Well, look, Kesnet had a massive game as well. We're talking about it briefly, though, right, on that Yoru. And Wyatt, I mean, it really is impressive what he did with this agent.
It's very impressive, and I have a fun fact for you, which I had to quadruple check because I said, ain't no way, that this guy has played 6,553 rounds of recorded competitive Valorant matches, and not one of them has been on Yoru.
Wow.
He's never played it until now, which is correct. I mean, in my brain that made sense, but when I look at it on paper, there's no way, but it is true. And he showed out. Great debut. He looked really, really good.
Yeah, he looked phenomenal on that agent. It felt like Loud.
Look at the first blood percentage. It was 40%. He was 6 for 1 on first kills. He was phenomenal.
So now, though, of course, that kind of puts a lot of pressure here on Loud. You start this thing off nicely. You think that you got it in the bag, but then crew wake up in a very dramatic fashion.
The wake up analogy came through.
But Adam was right.
They were right. Bro, they were right. Coach Adam was right the whole time. So now we get ready for Split here. What should fans be expecting as we get ready for this?
I got to say, I don't know if you agree with me.
Okay.
When I think of crew, if I think of a map for them, it is Split.
Yeah.
I associate that map with them in my mind because they had, over the course of their entire run as a team, so many bangers on that map, even going all the way back to some of their first international debuts, like against Sentinels. And it's always been a map, even since then, where Kesnet does take over.
Yeah.
He really does. Will he continue to play Raze here? certainly possible. Would I also like to see the Yoru again on a map where we've been seeing some Yoru?
I wouldn't mind it.
I wouldn't be mad at that at all.
Can you still run double duelists in this?
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously, we were seeing a little bit of that.
I think you can still run double duelists on that map as well. Whether or not they will or not, I'm not too sure. But you're exactly right. I think if there's any kind of blueprint to follow from that previous map, is that when crew are able to slow the game down to such a degree, because they're running the breach Teo, it's part of the reason why Loud were so slow at the beginning, is because they have to be cautious for trap plays with the fault line and the salvos coming through at the beginning of rounds. But they were overly cautious for my taste, I think, as well. You kind of have to play disrespecting it until they showcase that they're actually going to be doing the trap plays itself. And if they continue that blueprint forwards into split once more, and they want to roll out the breach Teo and maybe throw out Kesnet onto the Raze as well, it's another comfort pick for him. I think that could work wonders for them to be able to close out this series that had an absolute abysmal beginning for them.
Definitely. Interesting too, just on the side of Loud to note that at the beginning of Kickoff, Split was the very first map they played, and they immediately were playing Tejo Breach before a lot of other teams were. So I'm expecting them to just continue to, lean into that, as obviously it's good.
That's a Viper.
All right, well, look, folks, map 3 is going to be coming up next, and look, I'm not going to front. I don't know what the hell's going to happen. So have fun one way or another. The cookie's going to crumble, so let's see where it ends up crumbling. We'll see you on the other side.
Series going all 3 in the first day. We are blessed. With the players, they are stressed right now. Looking to get into this game. They have stomped each other on their opponent's picks, and now we go on a split, the decider, where we're going to have to see both teams come in and pull out all the stops here. No more limping around. No more trudging through the sweet molasses. As Bren was saying, there's got to be movement. There's got to be speed. There's got to be teamwork and star power.
I could definitely feel the nervousness you're talking about from both of these teams, because again, we want to touch and bring back to the pulse that this game, it means a lot for these two teams. Although this is opening of Split 1, it is still the rivalry between these two teams of Crew and Loud.
Nice to make a mark.
And we were just talking about, hey, looking at the break, we're starting to see some Teo and some Breach. And I love now from Crew that they continue with trying to keep up and stick around with the meta. Loud, this is not surprising for me, though. They've done this before where they pulled out the Breach and the Teo before. They were the ones that had some cool trap plays that started things off against EG on Split, where they won in overtime. And Kawanzine was at the forefront of being such a good anchor on that A site. The only thing for me that I'm questioning a bit, though, from Crew's side is that they are playing the double initiator, which is nice, but they're playing it around a Jet. So I'm expecting at this point Jet is going to dash in around the util, maybe get a couple of kills, and then unfortunately sacrifice herself. Or Yoru allows for you to TP away, but then the Raze allows for you to get extra damage with paint shells on top of that, and you could actually close the space a lot quicker and more space because of the double satchels, which will be lacking here at Crew.
I do really enjoy putting priority on the Raze nade, especially when you're retaking on the sites. They're going to be on attack this time, but when you have Raze nade for retake, if you haven't used it, you dump it in the site. Very high rate of effect, and that's going to be a push right towards the A orb. They're past it already from the side of Crew. A triple kill for Kesnet, and the dash out is for beautiful safety on that one. Still up again, and he'll use it a second.
Lightly damaged as Kesnet gets away, but who needs double satchel? You could just hold W and use a dash to escape.
Why not?
But that is also because of the setup of how A site is. Easier for you to run up to get the kills as soon as the barriers come up, and Kesnet's looking for the ace.
Crowd's already in it. They're going to search. We got the trifecta running around. Kesnet going to be in the front here, and it is up to Vinny just to get that spike money down for the squad. I say wait here, family photo if he tries to push.
Plan would be good here for Vinny for sure. And he's going to stick to it.
Yeah.
Gamble, nobody's coming towards the spawn. He hears a rotate from heaven.
A quick peek. Shy down.
Wait a minute.
Oh, puts himself in the open. The ace does come through. And Kesnet, in our first day back of VCT Americas, is going to lock in the Eye by Power ace. Getting that PC giveaway for your first ace of the week. $100 gift card going out. And be sure to be following Eye by Power on the socials so you can hashtag unlock your ace as well.
It's only natural that we get to cast Crew and then get another ace here with Eye by Power. Yeah. But that's it. It almost feels like Vinny's like, hey, let me help the crowd. Let me help the fans in the chat get their own PC. Let me just run out in the open against Vinny here. Although joking aside, he did a good job isolating the first kill and then hoping that he was going to be able to catch a double stun with that fault line to get the clutch. But it's a huge ask from the RGL with how good Crew's been on the defense.
And you can see Crew getting that worldwide energy poured in from the watch parties. Multiple of those we've been looking at, so they are feeling it as they come in, push straight in here to the vent area. Digizine's trying to make some space for the squad, but he's a little cut off now.
I'm liking at least the reaction and the positioning from Crew at the very beginning. Just from 2 rounds, you can already tell it's hard here for Kesnet to get some good mid-control unless he gets the op. He can't really run down towards middle with the double initiator util when you have Crossfire set up towards the bottom middle on the attack. So for him to continue to play towards the A side, and you can leverage Mazzino with fault lines across the map from A to help middle, it still gives you a lot of ground that you could cover for Crew. Playing into their strengths, making sure here that Kesnet continues to find his groove, now back as a Jet in this tiebreaker map. Tui's unfortunately.
Oh my God!
Cast a curse.
No way!
Cast a curse. My bad.
Tui's just got that kill on Kesnet, threw down a bite at the feet of Mazzino and had no right winning that second classic fight with Mazzino knowing exactly the positioning.
And he forces to rotate instantly, and look at Loud. They went for the fake to meet up with everybody towards the sewers, and then just goes back towards the B-side plant. And now they have numbers advantage with pistols and also a Phantom upgrade late lurk by Tui's.
We saw Tui's everywhere on Haven behind the side of Crew, but Loud just wasn't able to act on his flanks, on his lurks. Now he's just making it happen himself here. A 3rd kill in the round. We're going to see another ace, Fancilli, as they are just cleaning up the members of Crew.
At 10 HP, I don't think so, but at least the players are there.
I think it's going to have to happen. Uh-oh. Oh, big uh-oh here. 2v2 now. It just got, like you said, 10 HP. Cowanzine a little bit healthier here. Looking at almost the same thing on both sides. Cowanzine picks up 1, Melzer with half, and has a chance to look around. The time is there to get a second defuse on. Gives away himself with the sound of the Bulldog. Fakes the defuse, but the salvos quickly keep him off, and that's going to be the timer rundown. I think this one goes in favor of Loud as Cowanzine picks up the final kill.
And the goals to drop the salvos just outside of the smoke. No respect given to Adverso that he's going to try to swing out to try to surprise some players, but that is just a lack of protocols coming out here for Crew, clearing out towards the spawn. The Viper Rolls are already thrown there for that side. You know in this composition, potentially there's going to be some sort of lurk in that. Because of the double initiator, there's been some much late alerts coming out from the Vipers and the Omens and the Cyphers and the Astras of the world. So that is going to be very costly for Crew. At least the Bladestorm's up for Kesnet.
Has been a powerhouse for the side of Crew still, even in the 1-round loss in the first round. Just showing you how much they're focusing on some of these orbs and getting the early kills, that 4K to start, the ace rather to start. And then just bringing up the last few. We'll see if that Bladestorm comes into effect. They tried a very hard early salvo and hit here with fault line onto A. And now Loud knows they have a bit of room to work before that'll come up about 40 seconds again. And Crew would do it all over.
1 minute fake being thrown out by Cowanzine to start with this drone. And for Loud, they don't have enough to try to work back towards this middle because of potentially this wall pulled up by Shy. They're trying to cycle a lot of smokes and the walls to cover up Heaven, cover up towards middle, and also give them potentially even an opportunity to push out and fight down towards middle. This wall, though, for Pancata to activate. And deactivated.
Still towards the other side. She'll get the plant down. This is going to have to be a scramble now. Do they pick up this weapon? Yeah, okay. Melzer has the Phantom. See how they position this. 3 towards heaven. Expect that Phantom maybe go down towards screens if they want to split it. But KRU is going to try to find Loud before they get into sight and see what extremity kills they can get first. DG. Oh, what a transfer. 1-2 click. Tuiz is there to help with the 3 kill from Digizine. Was so clean on the first few hits. Now they know where the Phantom is coming from and they can position accordingly.
Another little small mistake, but understandable here from KRU's side.
Boom.
Tried to throw the salvos down to delay the plant even more, but because of the sound cue of where the spike was planted, it seems as though Adverso thought that the spike was planted at a safe spot behind the wall on default, and there was no salvos going towards the back corner of the site, so it becomes an easier plant for the attack, and you're forcing KRU to play a retake instead of the flood retake pre-plant that they've had good successes in on Haven before.
All the weapons easily upgraded for those that were alive there. You see Cowanzine grabbing what Melzer had as a Phantom at the end, so still great money as Loud start to capitalize after that second round win. Spike's down here, so they are doing a little info sourcing as they get onto the map, but it looks like KRU is happy to meet him here at Vent and Mailroom.
Go get him.
And a little change of pace in positioning for Loud as well. Might have to hold that thought though, because their first fault line potentially could engage a fight from KRU. But yeah, the Teo is actually playing towards the A site with the Viper to potentially stop like the early aggression from KRU's side, and they still have the fault line to assist here on Digizine's map control attempt.
Oh wow, what? Kesnet, I think knew he was going to commit, but didn't expect to see that much standing in front of him just right in the middle of the alt orb. And now the push-up. They know Tuiz is in a pretty interesting position, and Verso's just going to actually go for the clear here. A little reckless on that one, thinking it was going to be clear for a little bit longer, I think.
If he gets his 3rd kill, unfortunately not. That might have to force Loud to activate towards this B site, but nobody rotated yet from the defender's side.
30 seconds left.
Oh, the flash. Nicely played, but it actually didn't cut the corner enough to get in the eyes of KRU. The headshot through the box, but Shy is able to correct the aim and get it back down to get that one. Still had Mazzino for safety, but it's not even needed, and it looks like it's going to be a slugfest here, Van Silly. It is going to be a bloody one, as the Dash said. Kills everywhere and resulting now in a 2-2.
And Split is just a normal map here that Brazilian teams love to play. I mean, if you're just looking at KRU themselves, White was mentioning on the desk how it's almost KRU's playground compared to what Bind could have been here in 2025 for them. And I do agree with them, but at the same time, their kickoff results have actually resulted in losses. They were 1-2 in 2025 on this map, and they played all the Brazilian teams actually on this map. 2G, Furia, and Loud, and now it's a rematch against Loud on Split to tie the knot in this rivalry.
Interested to see why KRU is putting so much pressure, even in just Melzer here at A alt orb, making sure that that flank, making sure Viper isn't as useful, as it is Loud work in the left side of the map here.
Yeah, Bren was mentioning that they had to be a little bit more active. They were able to do a little bit here with Tuiz's activations on Cypher on that previous map, did so on this map on the previous round. But unfortunately, it's just a next step behind that. That's still lacking here from Loud.
Whoa.
Thinking that the Lurks could actually pull out the rotate so they could potentially hit the weak side, but they still walk into these stacks.
Melzer on a sliver of health here. They're getting quite a bit of focus. They know more util has come through, so the Loud wants to go to C here, seeing all that pressure at A.
And finally, the map polling works out for Loud. They have chosen the weak side.
Mazzino, Kesnet playing the high-low. Beautiful job on the entry, though. It looks like it was Digizine trying to get in a little too early, and Pancada cleaning up 3 immediately as he found some low health bars here, and the rotation is going to be huge as well from Vinny because he might just hear Adverso.
And even if Adverso dies, though, well, yeah, he will. I was going to say Vinny. At least he'll give information on the last 2 players, for the last 2 players where Adverso will be rotating from. But that said, they chose the weak side of that site to hit, of the map to hit over on B for Loud. But weak side doesn't mean weak players. You still have these 2 players on the side of Mazzino and Kesnet that did such a good job holding the first wave. But then Pancada has his own spray transfer. where 3 players just ran into him. He did have support behind him to get those 3 kills.
Yeah. In the moment, I wonder what utility was there. Usually, you're fine with dry peeking 3 at different levels, but still, Pankata's going to be fine with it as well. A flash may have done some justice there.
Agreed. And that wrecks the economy of Crew.
Looks like they want to push now.
First walk down mid, followed by utility to let Loud know that they've added that aggression very early. And Crew decides to fall back because this calls for fast rotates, especially when the Viper is able to delay with the Viper Orb. So Shy does a good job. Loud just going for the re-hit right after.
Shy delay. Orb up as well. Nicely done here. They kind of allowed the fight to come through last time and took it as it hit. So here they just want to give Loud a bit more trouble and delay. 4 for Crew over towards A on this save. So they think they're playing off of what is a fake here.
That's 2 gambles now for Crew. The first one is, hey, we're making noise down towards middle, but then we're rotating back towards the A side. Shy stops the B side, and then they're full gambling that there's going to be an A side hit. Yeah, it looks like a lot was invested for Loud to get the round, but getting the round is important.
Respect the Crew. I mean, they're going to usually have something that can actually turn the rounds, as we've seen throughout this series already. So Loud really can't leave anything up to chance. I like the ults being used, and they will have a pretty safe plan. They're chasing a little bit on these kills. Adverso is going to tag back on that one.
Tui's lurking, flanking with an outlaw.
He's been loving it lately. We've seen a lot of the 2 kills come up as well, using both in the chamber. They go around for maybe another exit that they can surely get, or just die to the spike here. Trying a little bit of both. All right, there's one.
And good thing is that Kesnet will not be able to save that Vandal. Good damage being done on an eco from Crew. But that said, as we've mentioned on the previous round, that there was heavy investments in ults for Pankata's Cosmic Divide and Digizine's Showstopper. It just makes sense because you've also cycled now 3 ults to carry over into the next rounds, right? So you could definitely have another big round to reset the econ of Crew for a second time. Just depending here what you want to do.
I think Loud have to have found out already that bottom left side of C either only has Melzer or has no one, and they have to work and look up towards B and Hell once they enter the site. I should say B Heaven. So a lot of the times they're easily able to get in if they just tuck Digizine into new box and the rest of the team flows through. That has been really successful at B. Adam getting in their ear now here in a timeout at round 7 to see if he can stop the bleeding.
As you mentioned, the ults that Loud carries over. There was a Viper's Pit that I saw here from Tui's. Vinny still had his Rolling Thunder, and assuming now that Pankata and Digizine used theirs, then it's probably the Armageddon for Kawadzine. So 3 on their side. We'll have to see what Crew has, though, to answer back after this timeout. Looks like an Armageddon for Adverso. And that could actually be a good point here in terms of the ult economy, in terms of what you could exchange, because I feel now that if you want to continue to cycle ults for Loud, you probably want to go for a big Rolling Thunder to get the pit in. But the Armageddon to reply back could deny that pit and allow Crew to flood back a little bit better in their attempts for the Pulse plant.
First time they're really splitting the true default here, just leaving, for Loud that is, leaving Tui's on the right. We've seen quite a few times Kawanzine's over there for the initial part of the round. But Melzer has pushed this. If Melzer's not in B, they love to take this area. Huge info so they can know where Loud is moving, but they haven't come out with a successful attack.
I wonder if they're going to try to maybe Boombot or maybe get a little bit more ground for Digizine up towards this Heaven. Because if they do, that's a full-line Armageddon to take control of B Heaven. Already they're pushing through that smoke, but there's no retaliation coming out from Crew, so looks like they'll hold back on the middle control.
Okay. And they know it's a push. That means Vent's open. You still have Astra as well, and that's going to be Pankata coming back around. He might actually get a noise on Teo, on Adverso, when he comes back to the site here. Really great positioning for the audio cues to come through. As Loud feel comfortable, C1 at screen, and no, site is probably pretty empty. They're still going to go ahead and alt screens, knowing they can focus site for the fight.
Thing is, though, Adverso pushed forward, so he's going to be able to get a big backstab unless Pancata turns over. Armageddons are exchanged. This should be a plant no matter what, and now you've exhausted the amounts of ults available with the exception of...
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, that. No chance for KRU to really set up here for the retake.
Mazzino probably getting a few alt points here if he can get the hits in, but gonna have to hope for those. All eyes are gonna be on as he comes around to the left side. Nice job by Loud working the early portion of this map as a default, figuring out that they can get a kill on these KRU pushes. Melzer or someone is always pushing from an extremity here, and Loud is able to get some successful first bloods to make those 5v4 conversions.
And KRU, sorry, at the beginning of this round have been doing very good of the A site control and continues to do so here.
Yeah.
That said, though, what's lacking is a little bit of information towards the middle, towards the B main. Yes, we're more reactive on Shy or Kesnet jump spawning towards that B site, but I like to think here with a double initiator play, you could get some good map control in the very beginning of these rounds outside of the A site. Because at the very now that we're looking here on how these rounds have panned out for Loud, they haven't added too much early aggression for their side on A.
No, they haven't. They're kind of just waiting to see what the aggression is from KRU, if they're going to get antsy, if they're going to push. And KRU is doing that on their own, especially on the save rounds. But on the buy rounds, it just takes a little bit longer, and you usually will see a peak. Already out towards B here. Kesnet is going to be focusing on the orbs. Blades is up. Nice protection by the team as they go back to formulate what the defense can flow out to. I think that's actually a read by Loud. That was an orb grab, and they're going to push.
Big flash support, too, to allow DGZ to pick up an easy kill onto Adverso.
Finally get that Viper's Pit out. Entry from screens is pretty much null and void. And this rotation, they don't even have Pancata towards the site yet, but it's a great look from Melzer to know that long lurk could still be there with the speed of the round.
And that's a weapon pickup. So you're now looking at Blade Storm, 2 rifles, and a Stinger to retake. So the pit is actually a great decision from Loud in hindsight.
They're going to be able to throw themselves in. This pit's going to get them a little bit more closer, too. They might be able to enter at the same time and create some chaos. A lot of pressure on DG here to find somebody. Melzer, could he get another one of the flanks down? It would be incredible. And there it is. Melzer does find another one. This is going to be huge for the team. And Shy picks up another. They are absolutely wiping out Loud. Oh, that's going to be Tui's, however, coming back through. No time in the end as they stretch it just far enough. Melzer scooches into safety as the Red Bull clutch comes through, and Loud are able to take the round.
And thankfully that Tui's was still alive. The point of that positioning, of how they played that pulse plant, wasn't going to delay with the double initiator. I was scratching my head as to why they would actually pull out the Kawadzine salvo so early, but he was basically in a small pocket of that pit. If he's going to pull out, they know exactly he's going to be there. They could already spray him, so he's going to give his position away. So at least now that Tui's stays alive from screens, he can run back and get these kills. I mean, it was a risky play, but he made it happen.
Operator out now for Kesnet. Speed is up here for Mailroom, and Dejazin's going to go down immediately as they trade. Just towards that smoke. Shot through the vents is how it went down. We still have the operator holding the A line, so you can bet the rest of KRU is focused on this mid-B site.
That's a big kill to get, because this is the first time that Shy was really trying to set up a little bit more aggressively towards Vent, so that I think he hit that pit up before he died. So they probably wanted to control that so they could work towards the extremities. Off in the hands of Kesnet, now potentially could get spotted by the drone.
That's so good. They continuously have somebody lurking on and off the Viper wall. Before, when it was at B, they had Pancata lurking on it when it went up and down, and now they can totally fake it with that pressure from Kawanzin's drone and the wall going up. Free B site. Beautifully mid-rounded here by Loud.
They have good utils to delay. Starting off with the Pancata smokes. Now they have a Viper orb being thrown towards the spawn. And keep an eye on Kawanzin. He's basically the player that's going to go for that late lurk or stay alive as long as possible, especially if Loud is able to delay inside the B site.
Playing so smart just on the outside of that rolling thunder too, so it hits no one. That space is still going to be known as clear, though, as crews start to enter the site, so they have a bit of room to make something work. Just on the other side of the wall is Adverso and Vinny here, and that's going to be Adverso falling down. The util to come through to stop the plant, ready for the garage.
Not liking this.
There's the spams, there's the kills. 7-2 as Loud close down on another round.
Played too far in the back of the site for Crew. I mean, at first, it continues to be great here from Loud. They went for the salvos and fault line on the first tap, leveraged the grab well on the second one. And this smoke right here, yeah, it was nice for at least Melzer to try to get into the site for the defuse, but the other two players were just waiting to swing off whoever was spraying and try to body block their teammates, but they're just dying to the sprays instead of trying to fight back towards main. It was needed there to give Melzer at least some sort of chance to try to go for that defuse. And now Loud. Are we going to see just one-sided halves every single one of these maps? And it looks to be the case at least on middle.
Mid-fights? Mid-fight straight out. Adverso wants to take that one straight up. And they do get some trades. 2-2. No one too worse for the wear here. Health looks almost the same across the board. And we still have this lurk on the right side of Tui and Melzer. Usually has some impact for one of them, but they're going to backpedal off of this just for now as we come up on 1 minute in the round. And B, not looking great for Loud as that ultimate from Viper is down. Shy has already used it to try and direct the hand of Loud this round.
And this is a smart play. Yeah, you don't really have anything to try to clear out towards that pit that Shy let down. You still have your Viper up for Tui, so they could start playing with the up and down walls, but playing contact seems to be the name of the game. Smoke dissipates, and that will just keep Crew guessing. And you can already see it. Crew is guessing on this rotate, and they're guessing wrong. Back towards the middle. Easy now, open sight for Loud to plant with.
It's going to be a long rotation over. See how much space Digizine grabs here. I think they'll just stay in the corner, keep it safe. One more star up there. Spankata needs to figure out where he can get to put that down safely.
Well, he's not falling back, so
just put up the cover.
Yeah, looks like all three players want to stay within the site and just delay even more on the Heaven smoke.
All 3 points covered. The only thing they really have to watch now is that screens area as Mazzino gets one down. Paranoia comes through. Pankata in a beautiful spot to trade 1, 2, and a third one as he looks to the high ground. Shy falls in an 8th round into the hands of Loud.
Another multi-kill coming out from Pankata, this time playing from Benji Fishy's spot, and gets such tremendous results out of it. The Paranoia was thrown inside the site, but not in the line. That could really blind the full backline site. And they should have identified that from Crew's side because they didn't see any pressure coming up from ramp. So that was a little bit of a miscomm here where Melzer could have placed his Paranoia to get the best results. Staying ice cold is Pankata.
It is, yeah, that look. Just another day at the office here. Even if on a map 3, even if both maps pressured teams into 13-2, 13-1 situations, we end up here on split, and it looks like Loud has it ready for the long game, and they continue to open the strat book from the attack side of split. 8-2 here, and they've varied up where they're going just about every time. Less towards A, but still when they go, it seems strong.
If anything, GB lost the over-under. We're not going to get a 13-1, right? So, worst result we could have here is a 13-2, but you're seeing it here. The timeout's being called out from Crew, but it's still 6 rounds that were strung across, by Loud, since I think the first timeout, if I'm not mistaken. So this is not a good look for Crew. They won't have anything to work with on their attack side if it continues to go downhill. And it's a stinger buy to kick things off, with a lot of them going back to the tried and true, pressuring in towards this A side, fault line salvos, something that Loud has done a lot.
And so smart. I mean, look at the money on Loud side. It is a lot. Tui still has that outlaw. Knowing the effectiveness it can bring to the low buy here.
Exactly.
There he goes. I should have just let it happen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. He starts off immediately with 2 kills that we would expect with that outlaw into a pistol kill.
And a hashtag 1 HP towards the end.
Yep.
Old school tactical FPS players would know the hashtag 1 HP. That said, though, everybody's thinned across the map for Crew with the stinger buy. I don't think there's going to be too much value they're going to be able to get. Especially now that Tui's only has 1 HP. He can't really move back to re-clear the spots unless he gets his team with him. So that means for me that the utility might be utilized a little bit earlier on the side of Kawadzin to try to clear with the drone. That might be the only silver lining that would allow KRU to avoid that information, or avoid that drone rather, and surprise him with a close range stinger fight.
They have to do something to close the distance. Oof. Just a stinger shot to the shoulder, all they needed.
Yeah, looks like it's just a 1 HP, selfless play, get the info. They know the breach is there now.
I like the early wall drop by Shy. They tried to catch him off guard a little bit. Salvo is back towards elbow. Zeno helps. The rotation from Cheyenne has a little bit of time now. And they get some nice trade kills there. Kawadzin gonna plant, gonna hold that in the smoke and then try to get himself to safety. He does have a quick concuss and a drone if he feels like there's any time to use it.
Somehow it's turned around in the advantage of KRU. Kawadzin has to go into clutch now.
He's got good positioning. He's already moved himself off the spike. Making sure there's no trailer for him right now. Oh, it's going to be from the top side, and that's what they were waiting for. Melzer very patient as Shy is creating the distraction. They'll go ahead and get that defuse over towards Melzer as well, closer to the points. And they're closer to the half, so they know it's going to have to happen that way. 8-3 as KRU bite back with a thrifty, albeit a little late.
And props to Shy to run through the Armageddon and the Salvos to meet up with his teammate so that they could work together with, again, closing the gap, leveraging the Stinger to the best of its abilities and getting all of these kills. They anchored up a 2 versus 4 at that spot. Great job being done by KRU on that previous round. But again, that was just the lack of utility being used by Loud. They counted on the contact play and the trades to get the best out of KRU. And again, that's where KRU can shine. So they pay for their mistakes. KRU's closing the gap, rather, and Kezid has an op to work with. DigiZ's first attacker side op in this series that we praise so much during kickoff.
Uh-oh.
I forgot he ops.
Nice cue. Very nice gas ball to get a bubble to get out. And yeah, you actually saw Vinny was just flash jumping to get into mid with Digis in there. So they were like, where's this mid fight again? They're going to give it to us. Patiently waited, though, for Crow. Okay, they give it to him. Never mind. They peek out finally, just as the smoke starts to come down.
Because they already lost at Verso, so at the minute mark, you can't drone anymore, so you have to go for jiggle peaks, and the patience displayed by Loud was very nice. Again, I'm saying I forgot that DigiZine ops on the attack sides, because the whole half and the whole series so far has been a lot of just rifles and dead fights, and like brawls in the very beginning, so this is good here for Loud to bring this out. A little bit of a trump card to potentially close the lead, 9-3.
Oh, and the ops are ringing true now. And you mentioned DigiZin, probably one of the series we see him with an op the least so far.
Yeah.
As he just picks it up. So yeah, very interesting to see there. But it comes out at the right time for both of them. And looks like Loud goes for A.
Beautiful.
Melzer is just ready for the peek out of the smoke. Beautifully done as the gas was dropped, and they were not prepared for that.
10 seconds left.
Didn't want any of the smoke of the operator, and they still get it towards the end. Kezid closing out the last 12th round. Stringing the last 2 at least for KRU is what you want for a silver lining moving into the attack side. But for Loud, as you've mentioned, they got off down here by Kezid on the B site. They didn't want any of that smoke. They know how good Kezid could be anchoring solo on a site. And when they pull back in a scenario, they have zero information of where their players could be. There was a pinch no matter what. Even if Melzer didn't get a 3K, there was still somebody behind. So great job by KRU.
Honestly, it's an 8-4, but with this series, it is incredibly hard to tell who it's going to be. We're going to be right back after the break. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss this. We hop back into map 3, second half. Crew with 4 to Loud's 8 there. You see it on your screen. We're gonna now watch Kesnet if he can be the spearhead, the jet diving in, and how the team can protect that. If it's gonna be the dash into smoke, if it's gonna be the crosshair breaking, or if we're gonna see Kesnet going for these kills with heavy backup and utility over the shoulder. So one of the questions we'll have, a lot of what Loud found was Crew just straight up fighting them in mid at A at the at that first half. We'll have to see if this second one is just as aggressive from both teams. Here we go.
And Crew's waiting for it. 4 of them waiting towards that spawn. Early drone spotting too. That might actually up the tempo of Crew to start gaining control of the A site, because one of those players that they spotted at top B heaven was the breach. Now they know that Kawadzin's playing the A site. Again, strong anchor has been displayed by Kawadzin over towards this A site, but looks like they will opt to play the retake instead and allow Crew to go for the plant.
Ghosts on ghosts here for the side of Loud, so they should be able to get some good trade shots in. Melzer with the push, so that will delay what's coming down the back hall from spawn area. Still got Verso just outside the site. They are patiently waiting to see if he makes himself known.
Loud's waiting a very long time here. I mean, look at the position of where Adverso is in the pulse plant. Just so easy for him to play Salvo towards the end while the rest are just delaying. They have to move quick for Loud.
Fault line comes in, flashes go out. You see Loud just looking for positioning, jumping around, playing hopscotch instead of shooting back, and Crew is able to wipe him off the map in a flawless pistol round.
Well, a first taste now that the attempts of retakes is going to be greeted by a lot of players playing in the pulse plant, at least in this pistol. Off angles, nothing to allow for you to clear, no big paranoias to come through. They tried to come across with a fault line for Loud to retake towards that site. It was just easy pickings in the end here for Crew. Now we'll see the aggression out towards the A side. Double initiator for Digizine to move forward, just to try to get orb control as well, which would be good for Kawadzin.
Ooh, Pankata sees that, but takes the moment to get the flash. Oh, nicely done with the utility. Pankata had no place to hide. Actually trying to dodge out on that fault line because it's followed by the salvo as we hear screaming overhead at just the last moment. So good at denying this spike plant, could give Loud enough time to get back in, but hell is just that for them as they burn as soon as they drop in.
But a big flawless for Crew. That's very strong to carry over because some decent weapons were purchased in this round. That's 3 Bulldogs and a Guardian that could carry over to match the full buy that Loud's going to bring out in their gun round. And still will have enough economy to go for a full rifle round in the next round. So you have to be displaying the cleanest defense all on the side of Loud if you want to maintain this lead. And your read so far has not been the best. They tried to go for the stack surprise on the A side, nobody was there. Tried to go for B control, nobody was there at pistol.
Just on the gas right now. Kesnet goes forward. 2 flawless rounds coming into their bonus round, and they are gassed up on this one. Pushing through towards that B heaven, and they know actually B main control is not grabbed here. You can see Shy backing away, telling the team, but they're still going to choose to go to B.
Thing is, though, this plant might happen. Yes, Kawadzin gets the kill, but there's another late lurk coming right here from Melzer.
It's going to be huge. They have to pick apart the rest of the squad of Loud, and Melzer does just that, regaining control of B. Now meeting up with Mazzino in sight. They get a smoke for safety to put themselves back into a position that might be somewhat of an advantage, or at least where they think they have an advantage.
Yeah, and there's already a smoke towards heaven. They have a second smoke if they want to use it. It'll be a perfect way to do it because the salvo's just delayed the plant for Crew's end. So there's that second smoke to allow a safer plant and even a safer escape. Paranoia at the ready as well for Melzer in the back of the site as they're playing the high-low. So yeah, you're not going to use this flash anymore. You're just gambling here on the high-low, and you know from this position it's decent because the salvos were already used by Kawadzin.
1 battle star for Pankata actually just puts it out towards that left side. The concuss misses because of the high-low and the pressure. Oh, that's almost the kill. Kawandzin's able to find it, though. Very nicely coordinated. sourcing out both opponents. Loud's able to come back on that in a round where we saw Kesnet flying into Mail, getting the first blood, so big conversion for Loud here.
It was a great call in that Battlestar. That really pushed away that high-low position from Loud. Although they weren't affected by the stun, it still put one player out in the open solo on a two-player swing. And right here, just a lack of trigger discipline coming out from Melzer because they never checked that back. They thought it was a crossfire setup from Garage and backside. Turns out to be a victory here for Loud, but just mentioned it had to be a very clean one. Carrying over to this round, they only have 3 rifles. Actually, the Guardian Outlaw could maybe do a bit.
Yeah,
as DJZ had the right position in the very beginning to fight the double initiator who are trying to use that util to sell the fake so that KRU could go late into B. But looks like Pancata was ready for that. Already threw up a smoke. And now we'll reset the round for a bit. We'll start seeing at the minute mark here a little bit more initiator util to activate the second phase in the mid round.
A lot of space being given over to KRU on this one. Just the really deep angle holds. Tui's plays off timing of that smoke going and actually catches the legs of Adverso. So very nice damage, but they still, it's got to be Loud having a bit of trouble figuring out where these plays are going to come from.
And dropping in the vents, trying to make some noise. Now the orb being picked towards the B side is going to be called out by the lurk of Shy. And KRU's looking to re-hit towards B, but there's a Bermuda Triangle set up by Loud.
Forceful through heaven. That's actually, they're all going to try to drop out. Again, they don't have main control. This is just about how the last round happened. Loud trading now with Pancata, getting the last 2, the best of it so far. And that 4v3 is going to slow down for just a moment. Mazzino in sight, though. And that's Cowanzine actually able to trade the 2, flicks back to Mazzino and still gets that one as they know Shy again is going to be trying to come from that B main area.
And those were such important kills by Pancata at the very beginning. Because not only does he get a double kill and weakens down the numbers of KRU in towards the B side hit, but he also dropped the spike carrier on the top of the balcony still. And everybody dropped inside the site, so there's no choice here for KRU but to fight back. And at least clear out the B site. But that will definitely give enough time for the rotates to happen, the what ifs, right? So again, beautifully done by Pancata.
And you saw in sight there, Loud, they have to be thinking we have a great chance to win this. The fault line, almost everything was used for heaven there. They hear all that utility and then see KRU drop into sight. They're almost dropping in just looking for the trades, and that is easy to retaliate against. Oh, nades in. Oh my God, the retaliation. Pancata saving the hide of his teammate there on the entry. DGZ still gets to live around the column.
Never expected there was going to be a second player just closing the gap, closing the space of where Kesnet could dash in. And that's what we're talking about. Double initiator utility to support the jet to move through, and it's just going to be a selfless play. That said, though, you're supposed to draw some players in the process, and unfortunately he got snuffed right away. And that's not going to leave too much left for KRU to convert this round, unless Loud overextends, just like we currently see Vinny back towards that spawn.
Exactly. I think Vinny has the team more himself. Once they have an advantage, take positions where all the knowledge is just fed to you. You're pushed up that far, you know where the move is going to be, and everybody is looking at the right angles. 4v2, they still have a bit of work to do. Shy is still finding the backs of some of Loud. Pancata is trying to figure out where he is. Oh, he knows.
Oh, he knows.
He knows.
It's mind games and Shy wins it.
Not gonna matter. The Stingers are coming up huge here. All right, where is the spike?
Exactly. Down, TP'd, good.
Oh my God, Shy is on one right now and it cannot be stopped from Stinger to Phantom, and it is now up to Vinny here. Already had the push. I was saying Loud knows where KRU's coming from, but it doesn't matter at this point. They're gonna hit their shots.
Started off so well, though, with Loud, avoiding the fault line on the top of the balcony to get the first pick and drop the spike, but then everything else that followed, it wasn't necessarily overextension, but we'll hold that thought. Vinny's trying to actually commit into the retake.
Smoke after the smoke. Now has to clear through this. Time already dwindling. One shot comes up clean. The break, the stop. Shy still brings in the aim and takes him out for a 4K on the round. And honestly, opening up B site by himself there.
And that's the thing. It wasn't overextension out from Loud. It was lack of communication of what gaps were still out there that KRU could overtake. And nobody talked about watching the B side. I mean, Pancada was watching it, but there was the Viper Orb that allowed Shy to sneak through on the left side, be out of the vision of Pancada, and get the backstab kill on to Digizine, which then allows for the rest of, I mean, the last two players of KRU come out with a phenomenal 2v4 towards the end. And somehow a 2v4 that was all capitalized by Shy.
You're right. I think that's one of the biggest things is with the way KRU is now playing, we saw Loud bring a conversion round back very nicely, where Kesnet dashed into mailroom, got that judge kill. They started to go crazy, but I think maybe KRU identified in that they create a distraction in Loud. There's a bit of chaos where the windows we can work through, and like you mentioned, Loud not communicating that window the next round is the one Shy takes advantage of in an incredible way with those stingers. Can never count them out. We are going to get a quick tech pause on stage as we get a monitor fixed up. Thank you for your patience, and right back into game.
As you see, it's probably Mazzino's screen. And as I see the ref stepping away, we should be good to go in any moment. So thankfully, not going to be a long tech pause. And as I say that, I'm going to regret it potentially.
Yeah, don't regret it.
But we're going in. I was right. It's all good. So 10-7 in the scoreline just to reset things, right? Loud still in the lead, but only in the lead by 3 when KRU is starting to find success on their attack side, but not on good plays and setups and working the map. There had to be a lot of hero plays for it to happen. There was only really the pistol round that was the cleanest so far of KRU on the attack.
Seen a bit different play with this Viper Orb as well. A while back, we would see Viper throw that to the front side of B, use wall a bit, always be a nuisance, and now the Viper Orb kind of sits on that ledge of the catwalk right outside B. You can see it as Tejo's walking over to it right now, Kawanzine.
Yeah, right now I'm just looking at Loud's position on the defense. The fault line's being set up by Vinny to try to help Digizine, but it's off Digizine's contact. So he could still get smothered out if KRU moves in together and goes for the contact play. So I'm not too keen with the setup. Although you're seeing here the position on the B side just to try to close that gap of Bucky being played by Kawanzine over towards B. So you're just trying, I mean, TP was probably heard. Or a wall came up on the attack that allowed the lurk through from Melzer. Wow. And now you hear the TP back. But that is all a ruse once again, because KRU has been grouped up towards the A site, and they will hit where it's weak.
I think they were almost going to call for a fault line when Melzer took that shot too. So really KRU just playing ahead of the strategy allowed. We saw some pings there at the A alt orb area, but it was too late and too great by KRU. Plant down now, 5 in sight, and this is going to be a low buy retake here for Loud.
And I would respect here if Loud are playing a little bit further back just to drop to the spike, because Adverso is getting very close to his ult. Although 3 others have very strong ults on the side of KRU. You're just trying to delay at least the other ults, rather.
They're going for those ults.
Yeah, to pop up as soon as possible. So they are allowing Adverso to move up. That's why he's leading the charge.
So where's my next orb? They'll find another one in spawn. That should be Kesnitz. That's actually already blades up anyways.
Look at the ult.
Gets it either way. A little painful on that one. Kesnitz going down to the spike in the end. They feel good about that though. 8-10 now as they start closing that gap.
That's
2
the
rounds, they lose bonus and 1 of the gun rounds. And then KRU seem to figure out that this aggression, this getting in the face of Loud, not giving them any time to retaliate. Oh, jumping out of position. Yeah, the fault line was just a little late there, you saw.
But that's what I'm saying. Even if Digizine, I mean, he got caught repositioning, right? But if he was still playing down towards the orb and he gets contacted,
still.
Exactly. He could still lose his position, lose his life. There's still a fault line that's going to come out, but how do you counteract that?
Yeah.
There's nothing you could take on top of that. So Loud definitely needs to add a little bit more layers into how they could support or activate around the initiator plays. And it feels like they're starting to feel, it feels like Loud senses that crew is creeping up towards them. So you hear and you see the timeout being called by Loud.
No, I do like that. I think Loud, with having the double initiator comp, they're kind of trying to figure out if they can dry peek before using any of that, right? Before sourcing the info. And they don't have a lot of info that's going to say, hey, someone's there except for the drone. So you can see the reason they're doing it. They're just getting caught out each time, unfortunately. Crew is, again, the aggression puts them in the right spot at the right time. We'll see that aggression focusing towards the A side now. Looks like they're going to fault line right up that ramp and try to get there quick.
And timeout also is to figure out where we could position the off. So Digizine has that purchase this round, getting ready to get to be set up here to close that line up towards long B. But that said, all of Crew are looking to explode towards A.
Right up there. Pedal to the metal here for Kesnet. Somehow Melzer follows at the same speed, says I got your backup. And now they have a ramp, which becomes a bit of a predicament if you don't have anywhere to go. The Rolling Thunder should clear the way, though, as they get the pressure into sight here. Both smokes are down. They got to use this Omen window to get that space.
They'll get a plant for Heaven. A pit towards the spawn, and all of them staying towards the spawn area.
Recovering it, taking that back.
Very big round of just fundamentals there. Fault line to gain space in the beginning, Rolling Thunder to gain sight, and now it's up to Loud to pour in the utility to get back in. Remember, having that pit allows them to get a little closer, but who in sight is going to stop Loud from doing that from Crew?
Digizine needs to hurry up and help the team because he's got pain shells that can help clear some space, and he's not there to meet up with the rest.
Put it in the pit. Put it somewhere. Get the chaos going.
Are they going to save? They're pulling back.
It looks like they're going to be saving on this one. They're not even close to the side. Spike's going to go off soon, so it's going to be the kill. And there's a lot of money for Crew here, so it's not just to take guns away, it's just to hide and see if they don't go down.
If you already wanted to, oh my God, thankfully he gets that kill. Because you look at the amount of economy of money that's left. At this point, I'm wondering what is being called by the IGL. What is Vinny saying to the team? Because if the decision was already to fall back on a 5v5 when the delay was good from Crew with the Armageddon and the other initiator util, then it's still up for the post plan, you might as well just fully fall back and not get caught in these moments where they're going to push against you. You already know they're going to push towards that spawn because the pit is there.
I think the late identify was that everybody, if it worked out, would have been coming from ramp. Would have been coming in, they can throw everything towards screens and fight the site horizontally instead of vertically like they were trying to. That just did not work for them. But credit to Crew. They're continuing to get through these rounds. That a very meat and potatoes round, if you will, as the fundamentals were fantastic.
I think that was spaghetti.
A little spaghetti from Loud, but you know, you meat and potatoes is the whole meal. You got to get your main course in there. And we see put pressure towards mid here from Crew. Still that lurk in from Shy towards the left side, trying to watch in if anybody pushes. And this time, they kind of make Loud push out themselves. Give a little util. Crew slows this round down.
And thankfully, they still have at least enough to get a couple more rifles back in this round. And Kawadzine with a stinger. The only one anchoring towards that site where the pressure is coming from. He's trying to delay as much as he could to allow at least a start of a rotate to happen. Pankana going into astral form to set up a smoke in the front. And Vinny potentially using a Rolling Thunder to delay one more time. But there's no active rotates coming out from Loud because of the lack of information that they have here.
I think one of the things, they're so ready to stop it, which is never bad. But what follows up on the fault line? Crew is so happy to see this and say, cool, we'll do something in a moment. And there's Shy just pushing Kawadzine.
And now they don't have the Rolling Thunder to delay.
Oh my gosh,
and they get picked off.
Just absolutely walking over Loud right now. Get the site, get the plant. 3 there. Obviously going to be saving this operator as Tui's goes down to Mazzino. So that's going in the hands of Kesnet if they even want to. Kesnet's been on the forefront of these fights, so they may just stay with somebody else on the team to still have the power gun.
And that's the paint shells I wanted to see on the previous round to help the retake. And somehow going for aggressive positions at a disadvantage scenario. 2 versus 3, 2 individual plays, and now Crew definitely taking the stronghold of their attack side, tying up the game now in this series 10-10. So now we're all wrong. We thought it was going to be a 13-2, but it actually turns out to be a series of close last map. But so many mistakes coming out from Loud, feeling this pressure. I think they might have one more timeout in hand that could maybe help. But Crew definitely has full control.
And showing us a spicy attack now, where they've kind of faltered on some of their other maps. KRU is finding the footing on the aggression, following up Kesnet, and just having Kesnet go balls to the wall right now in the face of Loud. They are going to go towards B main, still a bit split before Kesnet joins them, but he did grab the op, so we see how they slow the round down by giving him that main gun.
And Digizine has a bolt action, so working with the Guardian, trying to use that as a mini op, while the rest of them are going for a half buy to be able to buy in the next and maybe leverage these ults. But so far, there's, again, no active rotates to allow to get a showstopper to get good value.
Well, Vinny, that sees a squad of them trying to come out now. Can they guard each other? The flash comes through. Nice trade. Great teamwork as Armageddon starts to pressure the site.
Oh,
pressure
my.
everything in the two. Concussed right clicks from Kesnet come up huge.
And the Armageddon gets no value. Kesnet somehow gets two while he's stunned and everything. That's insane what I'm seeing right now.
What is happening? The man has an operator, dashes into sight to get the two right clicks.
I guess we're getting spaghetti for dessert too.
Fearless, absolutely.
And this is what I'm talking about. You're trying to retake the site 2 versus 4. I respect this because you could buy the next round. But the value you could have had from the showstopper, once you had that pressure on the A side, it should have been identified here that there's got to be some sort of work towards middle, some sort of work towards B.
Yeah.
And Digizine should be rotating a little bit more quickly to support here, because we talked about the differences between the duelists rather here, Riv, where Kesnet is not going to have that extra paint shells to help around the double initiator, where the Raze could be a key component to that for the Flood retakes. But Loud has not been synergized in these team retakes. And Calazine falls to the spike. That's the silver lining to not allow Mazzino to get close to his own Rolling Thunder.
Nice timing by Kesnet too to get out. 11 to 10 now. KRU take the lead on split.
Dude. What is this? What is this, man?
Oh my gosh. Look at this. The view, the watch party's pumped and ready for more of this. 2 rounds away for KRU to solidify this one. And it looks like we will get another Loud timeout. Your last one to deliver information to the team, reset the mental, and prepare them for what could be taking it or a very possible overtime.
Yeah. Both teams definitely showing that they were much more comfortable playing the attack side. Yeah. Both teams saving their timeouts for the defensive end. But KRU, I mean, there's been a lot of, not necessarily a lot of shenanigans, but a lot of different looks that they were doing. The first shenanigan that we just saw, the fault line dash 2 right-click classics, is probably unheard of and unattended for, and definitely Loud we're not ready for that. But when you're looking at how KRU has been very good into the post-plant scenario, staying within the site, exactly. The delays that they're using for util is basically not to allow Loud to get into the site. Right, so
and it feels like Loud's delaying to delay without a follow-up.
Exactly.
It's just not working for him that well.
So we're hoping that the timeout will be able to fix that up for Loud. They have a pit. They could start closing things up very early. It seems as though it will be the case. Tui's is already down towards male, so they could pop that right away and work the extremities and try to get value out of Digizine's op.
They go for this buy. Could be one of their final ones. It's going to be a low buy as we come into the next one, so they plan to keep KRU off of that 12th point. Pick goes down immediately here to try and dictate the hand of KRU where they might be able to go.
Big stun.
Melzer doesn't flash across just yet, but the team is going to try to pressure this together as they have a ramp control. But Kesnet's not here yet.
Good exchange of utility for a stalemate for the A ramp control, but a fast pivot from KRU to move inside the A site. Kesnet's just with the up. He's trying to duel against Digizine, which is fine.
He'll get back. He'll be able to have the shot straight across from Altor down after watching sewers, so they know anybody that drops into sight is going to be protected, but they don't even need that yet. 4 at screens. This is going to be huge if they can get out. That's going to be big. Brings them down to 6, though. A lot of damage back onto Digizine from that. Mazzino and Shy bringing up 2 right there. They're looking to get it on the 12th point right now. Game point in their eyes. With just 2 left, and Shy gets the 4K to lock it down.
Map and series point as the crowd erupts for Super Shy. A 4K in the round, putting him in this scenario. But again, another one. I mean, I feel that it was through the timeout a conversation to say, how can we leverage and help Digizine get into the site with the showstopper? But because KRU keeps playing within that site in itself, they also took advantage of Benkana's Cosmic Divide to avoid that showstopper, and then they go for that pendulum swing, fighting back towards that site and putting themselves in this position to get the lead out of this grudge match between KRU and Loud. Both of them tied 1-1 so far.
KRU is just playing everything so fast. You're not seeing any fault line setups that Loud's trying to play off of in the aggression in the beginning, and as well as that's definitely not going to happen in the site if the communication isn't there from the get-go. And we're just seeing it fall apart inside the site. Here it is once again, KRU dismantling Loud. No protection from the buy to be able to cover each other, and the site's wide open in B.
Communication's good for KRU. Look at how they communicated to enter the site, and even in this whole pressure, drop in that spike for Shy to get a plant, to get the pit, and to get it up.
Incredible comeback here from KRU to keep it strong and keep the consistency from the second half. Pistol only losing a few rounds, but now they look to take the series with the last 3 kills onto Loud as they enter the site. Loud looking to play a bit of elevation. Digi now in the eyes with the Guardian, trying to finalize a few kills as Vinny does get one of those onto Mazzino. But KRU is trading back even harder, leaving Tui's by himself, and Kesnet with the 3K means it's 3 maps for Loud versus KRU. But KRU comes out with the victory.
So difficult for Loud to retake in a scenario of 3 versus 5 inside the pit. Only with Guardians. Again, KRU having good control of their attack side, keeping the economy low enough here for Loud to not get the best value. As soon as they come out with an operator, getting denied, going back into an eco, going back into these broken buys.
Oh my gosh.
Never finding an answer with what started so well for Loud in the very beginning. We had like what, a 7-0, 8-0 scoreline, maybe even 9. I think it was 11 until we finally got an 11-1 half. On the side of Loud, they came out with a vengeance, but then after that, going into the rest of the series, Adam was right. They just needed that map to wake up, and they looked pristine in map number 2 on Haven, and this map right here on the attack was split.
It was night and day, right? We saw Vinny running circles around KRU on Fracture, the way they started the Tejo on the other side of the map, the way they were conditioning bottom side, and then would just have free top side sometimes. They had a plan. The second map, both teams had a plan. We saw a bit more of a fight, but KRU we know is good on Haven, and here KRU was ready. The plans they had, the communications they had, and the teamwork was incredible to make sure they got this split.
I think you bring up a good point in terms of plans here, Riv, because both teams definitely did have a good, strong fundamental to start. But for Loud, it feels like they missed a little bit of layers into the mid-round. Yeah, they're good on lurks, they're good to insert players, but what is the next level to pull the rotates, to open up sites? How did they play the post plan? That wasn't really there here for Loud, but KRU definitely showed that once they took their side on the attack.
I think the desk nailed that, especially with this double initiator composition. Where's the push and the pull? Where's the second hit? Where's using the salvos or something right off the round, waiting your 45 seconds for the signature and getting it back? You know, playing around that window is a bit of a tell, but we've seen teams be able to stretch those times or work those times differently. And it looked like it was just kind of one mode here for Loud, and if they couldn't hit that, it wasn't coming out for them.
Yeah, great for KRU overall to just maintain that tenacity, to maintain the confidence that it could actually close out that second and third map, and definitely the watch party is quite happy and proud of their team, of the display of KRU today.
I think one of the things that stands true for me from KRU to season now that roster changes, there is so much fight in this team. That KRU mentality where there's a comeback, whether it's a lower bracket run that has to be a whole gauntlet, whether it's a series like this where they look behind but they can still find and muster up the strength and the strats to get it through. This is one of KRU's biggest strengths.
At least it started on the first map or the first series of the split that they get a victory. You don't have to wait for like an LCQ, a playoff bracket run. You're definitely happy with this type of result for KRU today. Exactly.
Good to see it now. Both teams as well in their games when they did have a bit of a lead, closing that out, which always feels good. We want to see that happening, but it was KRU that closed it out. So we're going to set it now down to Dryad at the stage for the Verizon post-match interview.
KRU KRU gets the win after a crazy series against Loud, and I'm here with Mazzino. Mazzino, congratulations on this win. The first thing I wanna ask you is when it comes to that first map of Fracture, Adam said after that first map that you guys needed to wake up. This was the wake-up call. So what happens from that first map to win the second and third?
Como dijo Atom, sí, nosotros estábamos dormidísimos en el primer partido, no estábamos haciendo nada, literalmente no estábamos haciendo nada y se vio horrible, yo creo que como lo vieron, se vio bastante feo, pero después nos dimos cuenta que no estábamos haciendo nada, pues, así que empezamos como a imponer más nuestro juego.
As Adam said, we were just asleep. We were very much asleep on that first map, and probably out there it looked terrible. So we were just not doing anything. So going into the second map, we started doing things. We started doing our own things. Ahora, going into the second question is something that the analysts talked about, is that historically this map of Split has always been very good for KRU. I think we go back the years and we for sure remember you playing there. So tell me, what is it about this map that made sure that you make that comeback on the map as well to close it out?
Bueno, sí, realmente el Split ha sido un mapa histórico para KRU en general y nada, yo siento que el hecho de como poder como tener trocaciones honestas o tener como lugares de caos es lo que como que nos da la ventaja frente a los demás equipos.
Yeah, it is true that historically this map of Split is iconic for KRU, but it's just going into the honest duels and also going into the chaotic fights. That's what always benefits KRU, and that's why we're good on this map. And also talking about something that we saw on this map as well, struggling a little bit with the retakes on the first one, but then Loud was also struggling on their own retakes. What was the plan coming into it? Was it we were working on the post plans for you guys, or what was the plan to make sure that you made it go this way?
Como una clave para post-plan de nosotros, diría yo, como tener una idea clara y seguirla, simplemente como seguir la idea que tenemos y seguirla como grupo.
The plan for the post plan was just having a very clear idea of what we wanted to do and then execute it as a team and all go together with this one idea. And then my last question here is that next match is going to be a big one, is against Sentinel, so how are you feeling about it?
Realmente ni sabía que jugaba contra ellos hasta que me lo dijiste tú. Va a ser un partido divertido como el de hoy día. Yo creo que vamos a mostrar una mejor cara, porque obviamente ahora teníamos un poco de nervios y ahora los dejamos. Pero va a ser un buen partido. Vamos a dar todo para ganarlo.
Truth is, I didn't know it was against Sentinels until you told me, and it should be a good match. We were a little nervous for this first match, but we don't have those nerves anymore, so it should be a good matchup. This is everything that we have for the Verizon post-match interview. Mazzino, thank you so much.
Thank
and
you.
Then we're going to send it to match point to hear a little bit more from the KRU players.
Thank you so much, Dan Dryad, for that good stuff there, as well as from Mazzino. Now we are joined here at the match point. It's our little gimmick at the end of the day. We like to have some fun with the players. We got KRU standing by. We got Aversal. We got Kesnet here to have some fun. And I'm gonna play a game because I like to play games. Yeah. I'm a weirdo like that, so we're gonna do it. It's a little fun one. We're gonna break the ice a little bit. It's called Agree to Disagree. Really simple. I'm gonna say a statement, and then you guys are going to have to rate thumbs up or thumbs down if you agree or disagree. Okay? Cool? All right, great. Let's do this. Agree to disagree. G2 is the scariest opponent in Americas. Disagree.
I disagree.
Disagree. Yeah? Disagree?
Yeah, me too.
You agree? You agree? Okay, collective. Your collective as a unit disagree.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the scariest team?
I think... I don't know.
You don't want to give it up?
No.
He doesn't want to give it up on it.
I don't want to give an answer, but I don't know. G2 is really good team, but I don't know. That's not so scary.
Do you think any team is like scary?
Yeah.
I think
they're tough but not scary.
Yeah, it's the better team, I think, in the league, but it's not scary.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, I was told the panels are double-sided, so you could share. I should have known that. It's my game, so I'm pretty terrible. Okay, well, let's do our next one. All right, I like that. Agree to disagree. Waylay will be the key to winning stage 1. Disagree. We didn't see any Waylay today.
I think Doro is more powerful than
Waylay.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll see any Waylay at all? And I mean, Kesnet, are you going to play Waylay?
I don't like Waylay.
I like it very much, but my team doesn't like it. So
yeah.
I think you have powerful there, but you have to try more mechanics, more in ranked games to
I
get
think
more
Oxy is going to use it.
Yeah,
Oxy.
Oxy is going to use it.
Oh.
Oxy is crazy.
It's a good pick. It's a good pick.
Yeah.
He replaced for Yet.
Or Aspas.
We were hoping to see it today, but we didn't. But I mean, to be honest, what we ended up getting though was pretty fun. So, all right, next one. Agree to disagree. The Alpha group is stronger than the Omega group. So that's the Alpha and that is the Omega, and you guys are in the Alpha group. So do you think your group is better than the Omega group? Agree or disagree?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree too, but I think Omega is more stacked, you know?
Yeah, so you guys think you're just better, you're better looking, you make better food, you have more friends,
better, yeah.
you're just better, you know? Just all right, I like that. Okay, next one, and I think this one's a pretty fun one. This year will end in LATAM dominance. Agree?
LATAM dominate?
Yeah. Dominate.
Yeah.
I agree. I love it. I love it.
This is our year.
Okay. Let's talk about this,
I like
fellas.
it very much.
Well, okay. First things first. Let's talk about the first map.
Yeah.
Okay. What happened?
I think we were so cold, you know?
Yeah.
We are so, I don't know how to say, but...
Yeah, cold's perfect.
Yeah, cold's perfect, but we don't have reactions. We let them play, you know, and they're getting momentum, and we can do anything about that.
Yeah.
But in the second map, I talked with the guys. I said...
Pero espérate, es el primer mapa. Just first map now.
Just first map now. That's it.
Yeah, no, but let's talk about the second map then. What did you say?
I think we doesn't enter in the flow state, you know?
Yeah.
I think we lose 3 rounds, and they getting momentum, and that's it.
Yeah.
Nothing to do about that, but we have to fix that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how, you know, like as the leader, how do you look to aim to fix that in the future?
Well, I think the emotions are so powerful in the game. So if we were so sad in the game, you know.
Yeah.
I think we didn't react to the plays they're doing, and I talked to the guys in the second map. Guys, we have to wake up, you know. We have to wake up because they are, I don't know how to say this word.
Oh, they were just, they're on gas.
Push.
Oh, they were pushing you guys. Yeah, they were pushing you guys
much
to your limits. Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, no, and for you, Kesnet, because I mean, we were, you know, we always hype you up going into these games because you always do incredible things.
Yeah.
But it did feel like you started off a little cold this time around as well. And why do you think that is for you?
I think the team started really cold, so
it was just a whole team.
It's a whole team.
Yeah.
And then we win like a team, you know, like.
Did the second map win being so lopsided, like one-sided, did that surprise you that you were like, oh my God, we destroyed them in map 2?
Because I think they played the default comp, and it's so much easy to read.
Yeah.
And we adapt to the meta, so they play like the.
Yeah, I mean they were playing the old old compositions. Yeah,
they
for
play
sure.
They play like a kickoff, so we have a good read about them.
And we talked about on the desk briefly. That was your first official game on Yoru.
Yeah.
And you dropped 24, I think.
Yeah. No, I dropped 20.
Oh, you dropped 20.
It was really good.
Yeah.
But I was scared a little because it was I don't know, just flash myself and things like that. Just have a really bad TP and things like that. But it was really good. So, and the boys support me really good. So it's really easy like this.
Hey, and one final question. Kesnet, what happened to the hair, bro?
I needed to fix it.
You were doing it for me, bro. I had no hair.
I'm a huge fan, so I do it for you.
Poppy, come here. There you go. My man, my brother from another mother right there. There you go. You love it all day, every day. All right, folks, so let's go ahead. Now that day one is in the books, let's look at the standings and see where we are right now in this competition here. KRU Visa, right at the top of the leaderboard where they belong, damn it. At 1-0, they got themselves another championship point, which is huge going in to the champions at the end of the year. And I believe, if I heard correctly, you guys have Sentinels coming up next, right?
Yeah,
thoughts on that one?
I think they are a really strong team, but we have a lot of things to fix about this match. So I think we are going to be more strong next match with Sentinels. And I think I think the Masters hit so much hard in them because they lose very hard in Masters. So I don't know how.
You don't know what you're going to get.
We have momentum now.
And we have to fix things. And I pray. I think we are going to...
I think what helps is that, and one thing I immediately get from you guys is you guys are just really cool with one another. You hang out with one another. I get the friendship, the camaraderie, which it seems, but also kind of can be a pain in the neck too, because you got to tell your friends, hey, step up, or you tell him, hey, step up, right? It's always a difficult one, right?
That's like LATAM. We are like family, you know. We need to spend like more time with him than my family, so it's like my other family.
Yeah, your found family. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, folks, let's see what's on the docket for tomorrow, because we got 2 more great matches on the line here. We have G2 going up against Furia, and then to close it out, oh boy, MIBR versus Leviathan. What do you make of Leviathan coming into?
That's a really good match.
Got a prediction? Can you give me a prediction so I can make my predictions better tomorrow?
I don't have prediction for that because they have a new player, Miberno. So and
Leviathan
too. I think it's going to be a funny match. I think
it's going to be a funny match. Okay.
The match of the week.
I like that.
I'm going to say Leviathan is going to win.
Okay. All right. Hey, and
I believe in Panchito.
I believe in Panchito.
Yeah.
Or
we believe.
That's okay. You believe in the king, Panchito. I love it. Love to hear it. How you say it?
Panchito.
Panchito.
Yeah.
Okay. Am I saying something back? Because I don't know that nickname.
No.
You know, but I like it. I like it. I'm with it. I won't call him that next time though. When I see him. He'll think it's awkward. I don't want to make it weird. In any case, so guys, seriously, thank you so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it. And congratulations on the win. That was hard fought. You guys showed some toughness out there. And that is exactly what we want to see here at VCT Americas. So good stuff, brothers. Always appreciate you guys. And that is going to do it for us here today. But of course, make sure you're back here tomorrow with us for some more Valorant goodness right here at VCT Americas. Thanks for watching. Here's your Samsung SSD Fast Replay. See you tomorrow.
Get up, make some noise, because our teams today, they've got a great one to start things off. NRG and C9, these 2 teams both disappointed in kickoff, but have made some changes and looking to bounce back strong in stage 1.
Ethan needed that kill. He can't find it, but the rookie steps up for 2. C9 has to commit to a plant soon. They're going to try and fight in. The setup, it's so good for NRG.
So I don't know if NRG want to move into this. Stuns will be traded out, and Som finds the opener somehow. I mean, it's just a mess. Som trying to teleport into the corner, and no one's ready for him. No one's looking at him. That's 1 for Som. That's 2. Make it a 3rd turn around.
A stunner to start the stage for NRG. On the B side, good stun, Net's ahead of it. Gets his first kill, and now the ult popped off of that. It's all about getting Net out of heaven. He has been a problem for NRG, and he'll continue to terrorize them in this side. Net for 3, and C9 do a damn good job holding down the side, and he is pumped. It's left up to Zeppa in a flash, but the spike dropped, and Finesse holding his angle. Finesse knows he's here, but Zeppa, he's turning God! That's ridiculous from Zeppa! 13-5, C9. They were playing kind on their map pick and tie this series up. Finally, inroads for NRG. They get some key kills, but Vic is dodging to the side through the smoke. It's unstoppable! 3 kills, alongside.
Getting the job done there too. NRG, the smoke on the spike, it's up to half now. NRG chooses to pull out, but they go 1 in. Block fires 3 with the Guardian, and he's going to be able to hold on through.
And they know exactly where Som is from behind. Oxy deals with him. Finesse is still sticking, but there's a swing in from Main and a pinch from Oxy. Cloud9. 3rd time, it's not the charm. Yet again, they beat NRG, and they start their stage 1 with yet another win.
Let's go ahead and bring out your first team to the stage. Feeling the music, it's KRU Visa. You know them, you love them, it's Loud. And Loud have a lot on their shoulders, but I think this is a squad that is more than ready.
The entry could be very good for them, but taking headshots through the wall, taking more shots from DG is just making it impossible.
The Armageddon, if he could get some space, but he's just stunned up at first, so.
Relentless.
Nice little trap play, that's gonna hit 2.
The counter, that was so good.
Hard for you to retreat from.
Trades, 3 for Collinsy now, making this real tough.
Melzer 1 versus 4, GG. Stunned up, about to get ran down. Loud will get this first map in a dominating fashion here against KRU. The hat gets the information that already pulls towards the A connector.
They find him. Whoa, Jesus, he's actually saving the life of the planter, and they're going to still get into the site here. Out of ammo is Mazzino, but Kesnick comes up with a 4K in the and the chaos again is where Crew thrives.
And they know that they're good on defense.
Exactly.
Already with a first blood, so that's how you could start.
Oh, he gets the shot on Shy's shoulders. He sees the hat go behind the smoke. 53 to 87 on that HP. Actually, a little bit more. Is it going to be enough? And it is enough for Kesn. It doesn't matter. Hits the headshot, gets the 3K, and the defuse to come through to Pooh. 13-2 Haven victory to bring us to map 3. And that's going to be a push right towards the A orb. They're past it already from the side of Crew. A triple kill for Kesnet.
Easier for you to run up to get the kills as soon as the bears come up, and Kesnet's looking for the ace.
A quick peek. Shy down.
Wait a minute.
Oh, puts himself in the open. The ace does come through. Screens areas. Mazzino gets one down. Paranoia comes through. Paid out in a beautiful spot to trade 1, 2, and a third one as he looks to the high ground. And an 8th round into the hands of Loud. Brings him down to 6, though. A lot of damage back onto DigiZ from that. Mazzino and Shy picking up 2 right there. They're looking to get it on the 12 point right now. Game point in their eyes with just 2 left. And Shy gets the 4K to lock it down.